up in this edition of Fifth Gear Web TV. Graham from The Office spends the day at Wales Rally GB with WRC star Matt Wilson and his team. And I go for a spin in a Ford Mustang with 1,000 brake horsepower. Oh my gosh! Welcome to another edition of Fifth Gear Web TV. First up, you wouldn't believe it, it's the news. The biggest news this week is the Tokyo Motor Show, which is on until November the 4th, and it's well worth checking out if you find yourself anywhere near Chiba City, which is just on the outskirts of Tokyo. The theme for this year's show is Fun Driving for Us, Eco Driving for Earth, which is why you'll find lots of new hydrogen and electric vehicles, as well as some rather tasty sports cars. Honda is showing the latest prototype of its CRZ, a petrol-electric hybrid, which is set for sale in the UK in 2010. On to Toyota now, which revealed this rather tasty-looking FT86 concept, which is part of a new joint venture between Toyota and Subaru. It's a 5-seater, rear-wheel drive coupe with a 2-litre boxer engine. But the biggest, baddest sports car of all comes from Lexus, which unveiled its LFA supercar, costing £336,000. It's got a 4.8-litre V10, revs to 9,000 RPM, has 552 brake horsepower, will hit 62 in 3.7 seconds and on to 202 miles an hour. If you're not 17 years old yet and want to get your little hands on a steering wheel without resorting to theft, then you can. Thanks to SEAT's Young Driver Training Scheme, you can get behind the wheel of a SEAT Ibiza. The programme, which launched this week, is open to kids aged between 11 and 16 and runs at Birmingham's NEC during weekends and school holidays. Over the next year, it'll also set up in Manchester, London and Edinburgh. The only stipulation is that you need to be at least 1.5 metres tall. So if you're allowed on theme park rides, then you can have a go in the Ibiza. This week I went for a drive in a car that's as powerful as a Bugatti Veyron, quicker than a Ferrari 430, but that looked like a Mustang. Intrigued? So was I. The Ford Mustang is the epitome of an American sports car, having been conceived with textbook qualities of a yank tank superhero. So brash, it looks like it's shouting when it's standing still. So cool with its big bonnet and compact cabin that everyone from schoolboys to presidents love them. And, most crucially of all, so reasonably priced that most could afford one. Which is why, since its launch in 1964, over 9 million Mustangs have found homes, and why the likes of Shelby and Celine have made their names customising them by giving them more power, sharper handling and improving their looks. And as the Mustang starts to think about its 50th birthday, men brandishing spanners will not cease to put their own stamp on the original pony car. The latest spanner brandishing company is Ultimate Bad Boy, UBB, and this is its interpretation. Perhaps the rudest, most unapologetically loud and most potent incarnation yet. It comes with a 5.4-litre V8 engine, a supercharger and 1,000 bhp. So is it the ultimate Mustang? 1,000 brake horsepower, 1,000! I am finding it difficult to say it, let alone comprehend how on earth this car copes with it. Ford and Shelby, together they could only come up with a 500 brake horsepower version of the same car. And UBB says that this engine will actually take another 500 brake horsepower more. But the chassis wouldn't. Now this power comes in 3 stages. You get 500 brake horsepower in first gear, then a little bit more in second gear, and then you get the whole juicy lot in third gear, but only when you've got the throttle full open and only when you're at about 80 miles an hour. And it's nearly got as much torque as bhp, 825 pound-foot of the stuff. That's nearly twice that of a Lamborghini Murcielago. Now the interior is not too intimidating, it is pretty basic Mustang stuff. The only addition being these 3 dials on top of the dash. One of them, this one here, gives the all-important supercharger boost level. Of course, it's got no traction control. Brilliant. The quicker I'm going, the more it's sort of squatting down at the rear as we're coming out of the corners, and it prepares itself to take that power and launch itself forward. Most days I love my job. Today I really love my job. Listen to that. Now this car will also cruise very comfortably. Pop it into 6th gear. Oh, all of a sudden it becomes quite peaceful. We don't want to be doing that, do we? We want to be doing this. The UBB's pièce de résistance is when it struts its stuff in a straight line. So, what does 3.8 seconds to 60 and 1,000 brake horsepower feel like? I'm about to find out. Okay, 3,000 RPM, double clutch. Snaking away a bit. 40 miles an hour, grab 2nd gear. Oh my gosh. There's not enough traction to hold it. 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, 5,500 RPM, 120 miles an hour. Grab 4th gear. Oh my good grief, 5,000 RPM, 140 miles an hour. 5th gear, 150, 160. And it wants another gear, but I don't want to give one because I'm running out of room. 160 miles an hour. So the plus points of this car are undoubtedly its noise, power, speed and fun factor. It's even easy to service because it's a Ford underneath, and it's as practical as a Mondeo, rear seats and a big boot. But who would buy one? It costs £78,000 and it'll do 8 miles to the gallon at worst, so it is a pretty pricey runaround, but it is an incredibly cheap way to tap into 1,000 brake horsepower. Bugatti's Veyron, which is similarly powered, costs a cool £1 million. So if you've got a big grown-up salary, then this will appeal to the big kid in you, big time. Now, if you're into your motorsport, you'll know that the World Rally Championship came to the UK last weekend for Wales Rally GB. Graham from The Office decided that he wanted to go and have a look behind the scenes. He also decided that he wanted to go a day too early.
Last weekend, South Wales played host to Wales Rally GB, the British leg of the World Rally Championship, which saw Sebastian Loeb take another victory and become World Rally Champion for the 6th time. I decided to go along, but instead of standing amongst the fans, I went a day early to see a different side to the rally. It's Thursday, 22nd of October, and although the event doesn't start till tomorrow, all the teams are here because today is the rally shakedown, which is an essential preparation day. I've been invited down by the Stobart Motorsport Rally team to try and help out and have a look behind the scenes.
Shakedown is basically like a systems check for the car. We build the car back in the workshops and we set it up to each individual rally, and it's basically the first opportunity we get on a proper road, and if we need to do any adjustments, this is our chance to do them.
Out on the course is driver Matt Wilson in his 300 brake horsepower Ford Focus. At just 22 years old, he's the youngest driver to have ever won a rally stage and is currently 7th in the championship. Back in the team service area and with no wins under my belt, I'm getting ready to lend my assistance to the team, or at the very least, I'll just try not to get in the way.
And then this panel comes off, undo these fasteners here, now lift the panel off, yeah, and then just make sure that's okay.
I think Graham will get on all right. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Come on, Graham, stick to it.
You always need a T-boy. You always do with someone washing the cars and cleaning the mats, so I would definitely find a few jobs for him.
These guys are professionals. During a rally service, they'll be expected to change any part of the car in just 30 minutes.
Once you've got the wheel off, okay, you want to have a look inside the rim just to make sure, because there'll be, if there's anything bent or damaged, okay, you'll see telltale marks inside the rim.
Do you ever check the brake discs and the pads between?
Yes, every service, the whole corner gets checked at every service. So you want to make sure the brake disc is okay, there's no cracks in the brake discs.
After a drizzly morning at Shakedown, the teams pack up and relocate to Service Park, 30 miles away in Cardiff, where I'm told more jobs will be waiting for me.
After shakedown, the boys will go back, re-prep the car, give everything a good wash off and clean, and basically re-prep anything. If anything needs changed, they'll do it. And that's their sort of final time before the rally starts for proper.
You're so used to seeing fake carbon fibre on the front of cars, but
this is the real stuff.
So how much was this cost?
I think they're around about £5,000.
Seriously?
So,
with the kind of light
with the
things?
lights and everything.
This is the kind of mechanics and the engineers. Do you get irritated if the driver comes back with something bent or cranked? Or do you kind of think, yeah, go on, give it
More
some...
irritated the fact we have to fix it.
A combination of steel, aluminium, carbon fibre and plastic give the body of the car its strength and also help to keep it as close to the 1,280 kilogram minimum weight requirement. The team keep the car so close to the limit that even if the 20 kilogram spare wheel fell off, the loss in weight would mean disqualification.
I'll tell you if it works. Lights are on. Can add that to my list of achievements.
If there's any dramas, at least we get, you know, there's 4 hours or 5 hours after shakedown to sort it before the rally starts. So if anything, if we don't get any problems, we can always change it.
Light pod was £5,000. How much is the bumper? Because it feels so flimsy.
The bumper, I think, is 2.5 or something like that.
So I mean, the whole of the car, Matt mentioned earlier, it's about £500,000. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think the boys at the sharp end aren't too worried about the cost.
No.
And they shouldn't be, because that sort of detracts from their driving. So.
Yeah, Matt was saying actually that he doesn't let it kind of enter his mind what would happen if he crashed.
But that's quite handy.
I think probably the most exciting thing is the torque of the engine and the extra acceleration that you get, even on gravel. I mean, sort of 0 to 60 times are fairly impressive on loose surfaces. So it's built more for acceleration than top speed, really.
Oh, about time.
Right, it's got your name on it.
Oh, you got the right colour at least. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. So, boss, how did I do today?
I think you did quite well. I mean, nothing's fallen off so far. It takes a lot to do some of these jobs, and okay, they weren't supremely technical.
What would be my next step up if I really wanted to make it?
Well, if you really want to make it, you would have to put a lot of hard work in, because some of the components in these are quite technical and you'd have to do them very fast. We only get 30 minutes in some services, and you would have to change some large components in that time, so you'd have to be very good.
And perhaps partly thanks to my efforts, Matt did pretty well too, finishing the rally 6th overall.
That's all for this edition of Web TV, but don't forget to join us again in a fortnight's time.